So click on the push-pull tool and select push-pull. And what we're going to do is, since this is a 2-story house, we're going to take it up about 30 feet. So let's go up. Remember, watch your distance here. Watch your distance. We're going to go up. Let's left click and let's pull it up and watch your distance. I'm about 9 feet right now. So let's go up to 17, 18, 19, 20. We'll get close to about 30 feet. All right, there we go. 30 feet and some change. Okay, let go of your mouse. And now we have about 30 feet. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This is our long side, right? This was our roughly our 50-foot side. I want to orbit around to my short side. So let's orbit around, okay, or you can come over here and click on the orbit tool. I was using the shortcut. I was pushing down on the roller on the mouse, okay. I'm coming over to the short side, okay. This is the width or the side that is roughly 31 feet or so. And now I'm going to show you how to do the peak on the house. And we're actually going to be drawing some lines now. We're going to draw a triangle. And so now we're going to come over here and grab the line tool. So click on the pencil and then click on the line tool, pencil again. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow this edge, and SketchUp is going to tell me when I hit the midpoint of this line, because we're going to make the midpoint the apex of our triangle, which is the point. So let's go along the edge until it says midpoint. There we go. So now we have a blue circle that says midpoint. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a diagonal line, and I'm not going to go too far down because then it's going to look kind of funny, and then I'm going to lose my second story. I'm just going to kind of draw a fairly, somewhat of a shallow diagonal line, and I'm going to go until it says on edge and I get a red square, just like this, okay? And then I let go of my mouse and I have a line drawn from the midpoint down to the edge. Now I'm going to go straight across. I'm going to click my mouse here at the end point where it joined, and I'm going to go straight across. Now, how do I know I'm going straight across? Well, if I'm parallel to the opposite axis, which in this case was the y-axis, a green axis, I will have a green line. If for some reason you ended up doing this opposite, you'll get a red line. But make sure this is either red or green depending on how you drew this. Go all the way across until you get the red square and it says on edge. Let go of your mouse. Now you're going all the way across. You have another line. And then, of course, all you have to do, make sure this says endpoint. Click your mouse and then join the two lines. Go all the way up until it says endpoint, and then you've drawn a triangle. Make sure that you go from endpoint to endpoint. If you don't, then your triangle will not be connected and our next step won't work. We're going to do another push-pull. This time, we're going to be pushing the material here and here to get rid of it. And that's going to make our roof pitch. So go back, click on your push-pull, okay, grab your push-pull, and make sure you select this material here. And you can tell it's selected by the fact that it's sort of a dotted surface. Now, we're not going to be pulling it to us. We're going to push away from us. So make sure that you orbit, okay, orbit so that you can see it going away from you. You don't want to look at it this way because it's hard to be pushing it away from you when you're looking directly at it. So make sure you orbit in such a way so it's easy to push it this way. So there again, push-pull, grab your push-pull, and then push it all the way to the end, and it goes away. Boom. There we go. Last thing we want to do, let's get rid of this line here to make it look nice. So let's click on the eraser, and what we can do is we can either click on it or we can hold left click and sweep across it and we can get rid of it. Boom, it's gone. What a pretty house. Now, I'm going to show you how to bring in windows and doors, but first let's orbit to the front of the house. The front, this is the front, okay, and let's get ready for the placement. So orbit around to the front and let's get ready for the placement. So now I'm going to talk about what's over here. This is for more things to put in your default tray. So this is components right here. This is what we want to get to the 3D warehouse. So click on this button here for components. Notice now I have my search bar for 3D warehouse. In this search bar, okay, I'm going to search for a front door. So front door to put in my house. So let's say I'm scrolling through and there's so many of them. So page 1 of 330, wow. So if you want to try to, maybe you want a specific color, you're welcome to do that. If you want a brown front door or if you want a white front door, you're welcome to do that. So let's say, okay, I like this one, I'm going to click on it. And notice that it's attached to my cursor. It moves wherever I go. So I want to place it. It's being kind of ornery. Okay, it wants to go in the house. So what I'm going to have to do is sort of place it a little outside of the house. Okay. Now, this is where I'm going to have to move it around a little bit. So let's orbit. When I orbit around, I can see it's not sitting on the front of the house. So I need to zoom in. And this is where the move tool is going to come in handy. So I need to come over here, click on the move tool. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. When you move something, move it down here on the end point. Okay, don't move it from the center, move it on the end point. And then try and see if you can line it up, boom, to the edge of the house. Okay, now zoom out. Take a look at it. I don't know that I like that. You don't like it while it's still, see how it's blue? It's blue, it's still selected. I don't like it. You can click undo a few times to get rid of it, or you can click delete on your keyboard. I'm going to click delete on my keyboard. Delete, I'm done. Don't like it. I'm going to choose a different one. I'm going to try this one. And this one, okay, I'm going to have to set it out front a little bit and move it. So orbit around, and you're going to have to just play around with it a little bit. Let's pan. Okay, I need to pan a little bit. Orbit. And again, we need to do some moving. So play around with this and move it around a little bit. Again, try to grab it from the bottom. Okay. Edge. This one's going to have to go in a little bit. So move it around. Okay. Orbit if you need to. Look at it. Okay. That one may not. Well, yeah, it looks kind of centered. Okay. All right. When you're ready for Windows, come up here. Now, because you're going to get a lot of windows, you might want to think about large windows, small windows. Because this is a big house, I'm going to type in large windows and see what I can get for large windows. And let's try this one. Let's try and put this one in here. And if it lags a little bit, just give it a minute. Okay. Now, when I put this one in, it doesn't look like it's there. So I'm going to have to tweak it a little bit. I'm going to orbit. And I'm going to have to pull this one out just a little bit. So I need to orbit, and then I'm going to use the move tool, grab it by the corner, and pull it out. Okay, grab it by the corner. Make sure you grab by the corner and pull it out just a little bit. And it's okay if it sticks out a little bit. That's fine. Now I'm going to show you a little shortcut. if you want to use the same window,